I wrote a book. Here it is. You see my name on the cover. It's a Dutch book. It roughly translates to Inside the Tower, Life with Depression, or like Living with Depression. It's autobiographical. You can see on the back, there's a picture of me. This is really dangerous. If my camera focuses on the book, it won't focus on me, but it didn't focus on the book, it's fine. I published this book through a POD publisher. POD stands for Printing on Demand, which means they don't have 1,000 of my books laying around. When someone orders it, they print it. That's very common for people who self-publish. I didn't. I went through a publisher, but it was a POD publisher and not a traditional publisher. If you guys are interested in the differences between publishing options, please let me know. I can make a video about that. But I will let you know what I learned when I published my first book, which is a lot. The first thing is weight. I wrote this book as a project for NaNoWriMo, a National Novel Writing Month, I think it is, which is a project where you write 60,000 words in a month. In November, maybe the No stands for November, I'm not sure, but I wrote it in a month, which is fine. But then I proofread it maybe twice and sent it off to some publishers, to some POD publishers and traditional publishers. And I wasn't ready to publish. I found that out later. I was so excited that I had written a book. I wanted to publish it immediately. And I found out that you shouldn't. You should wait until you're ready. Even if you're excited, which you're bound to be after writing a book, wait, make sure that you have everything that you need. And I'm going to go into the things that you need to do, which I didn't do. I, again, have these on my phone, so that's why I look down sometimes. An editor. I didn't hire an editor. No matter how you publish, you need an editor. I'm pretty good at Dutch, but when you proofread your own work, you're bound to look over the same typos again and again because you already know what it's going to say. And a year later, I read parts of my book again, and I saw a lot of typos. Well, not a lot, some, but more than I wanted. The publisher did provide an editor. They said they did. I was in contact with an editor who did a proofread. He or she, I don't know, changed some things and sent the manuscript back to me to proofread once more before sending it off for publication. But I don't think that editor really looked closely because there's still a lot going on with that book that I think a professional editor would have picked up on. So, yeah, get an editor. Even if you are going the traditional route, I would highly recommend you get an editor. Not just for that stuff, for typos, also for, grammar, punctuation, and spelling. But you also have editors for story structure. You have sensitivity readers, so make sure that your book is PC. all that sort of stuff. I didn't even look into that before publishing. Do your research on writing. Right now I'm in some writers courses. I have done a course at school, and I'm going to study English. My course that I'm going to do is called English with Creative Writing. So I'll be taught English and, the process of writing and the things you need to know. I didn't know that before writing this book, and now I can find some stylistic, not mistakes. There are no hard rules for writing, but there are things you can do to make your book better, and I didn't look into that before writing my book. I just started, which is fine. You can learn about writing after if you really want to write, but use your knowledge to edit your book. And that's what I mean by wait. Until you have all the tools that you need to actually publish, because you need to do a lot between writing the book, writing the last draft, the final draft, and sending it off to a publisher. Yes, do your research on publishing options. I didn't know what to do. I sent off I sent my manuscript off to traditional publishers and PhD publishers. At the moment I didn't really care, I just wanted to get published. But I found out there is a big difference. I think if you're going through a PhD or publisher, you might as well self-publish. They don't really do anything more for you than you'd have to do anyway if you self-publish. Traditional publishers don't really do much for you either. But if you want a video on publishing options, I'll get into that. But now I think I made a mistake with going with a PhD publisher. I think I should have self-published. But I don't mind as much, but I should have done my research on that before just sending it off to publishers randomly. Proofread it a lot. I think maybe on the 10th proofread you can still find things that you want to change. I proofread maybe twice. It felt really awkward to me to revise my own writing, to just read it, especially because it was autobiographical. It was very cringy to read. I have that now too with watching my own videos, but I still do it to learn from them, even though it's cringy to me to watch my own videos. But I think that's so important, and I proofread it twice, which isn't nearly enough. Have a marketing plan ready. Doesn't matter which route you take, which publishing route you take, you need to market your own book, even with traditional publishers. And you need to do that probably before your book is for sale. You can already start. I didn't know what to do. That's why my book didn't sell super well. I had the luck that some people discovered my book, so I was on Dutch national TV, in papers, on radio. That was pure luck, and I don't think with my next book that would happen. You need to make those things happen, and I had no plan ready. I didn't know anything about marketing, and I didn't actually market a lot. I sent my book off to some influencers, I guess they're called, to review my book. But that was all. And there's so much you can and should do to market your book if you want to, get a lot of sales out of it. And I think it's the last one, yes. Let others read your book before you send it off to a publisher. I didn't do that. I didn't know if it was good enough. I was very self-conscious, and I needed the approval of a publisher before letting anybody else read it. So I was underage at the time. I was 17 when I wrote my book. So my father actually had to come with me to meet my publisher. And I made an appointment with the publisher on very short notice after sending in my manuscript. So my dad hadn't actually read the book when we went to visit my publisher. Nobody had, except for me and the publisher. You know, the people at the Book Scout, which is what the publisher is called. Which I should have let other people read it, get some outside feedback, because when you write something yourself, you kind of you don't really see your mistakes anymore. And mine was autobiographical, but especially if you're writing non-fiction, you don't see your own plot holes, because you know what happens, you know what some characters are like. You don't see things that others might not get, or maybe when you're foreshadowing, you think it's subtle enough, but maybe if you let someone else proofread it, they can predict exactly what's going to happen, which is not what you want with foreshadowing. So that's why you should let others read it before you send off to a publisher. But I am happy with the experience of having written and published my own book. I did get to know the world of publishers a bit better. I know now what the process is of getting your book published. I made some contacts with the Dutch media. If you ever want to write in Dutch again, I am planning on writing in English, but still made some contacts. I still value the experience, but even if you're watching this and you're Dutch, I wouldn't recommend you buy my book, even though I still make money off it. With every sale, I wouldn't recommend buying my book, because it's not that good. I am writing a book right now in English, and it's all in here. I like to have my outline on paper as much as I can, instead of on my computer. And for people who don't know, an outline is basically the plan for your story. Well, there's a difference between story and plot, but it's a plan for your book, or screenplay, or short story, or whatever. And this time I'm going to do it very differently. I am already learning a lot about writing, about building a scene, about story structure, and everything that I need to know to write a successful book. I am taking classes in marketing. I'm researching different publishing routes and different publishers and agents. And I'm spending a lot of time on my outline to make sure I don't mess anything up. I don't have any plot holes. I'm going to have some beta readers, which are readers who read your book before you edit it. So if there's something wrong with it, they'll find it before you do your final edits. You can edit it beforehand, but before you do the final edits of the punctuation and grammar and style and spelling and typos and all that, because it might turn out that you need to change a lot, and that's what beta readers are for. So this book I wrote in a month and published basically the next month. I wrote this in November. After that I sent it to a publisher, so it was done the 30th of November, 31st. I think November's 30 days, not sure. 30 days, I think November's 30 days. So I wrote this in 30 days. So on the 1st of December I sent it off to a publisher, and I think it was the 17th of January or maybe 7th of February my book came out, and that was just way too fast. I wasn't ready for it. I am going to take this a lot more seriously, so it may take years for this to come out, but when it comes out I'll be ready for everything. It'll have gone through at least one editor. It'll have been proofread, beta read. I'll have a marketing plan ready. So that's really what I learned, and it could all be summed up by wait. Make sure you're ready, and do your research on writing, on the publishing process, on editing, on marketing. All of that's very important. As I am learning about writing a lot now as well, if people are interested in that, I'd like to share that on this channel as well, in ASMR style as always. I can't really give you a lot of tips on writing. I've only written one book, and I can tell you about the publishing process. I have been through that, but my book's only, I think, 60 pages, even 166 pages. I think it was about 60,000 words, and I didn't take it seriously. I did at the time, but looking back, there's so much I should have done that I didn't. But I can share with you what I am learning myself right now, if that's interesting to you, and the things that I am using to write my own book. I'm still very proud that I am a published author. Just don't buy my book. Yeah. I will read a bit out of it. It's in Dutch, and personally I like not only Dutch ASMR, because I speak Dutch myself, but also ASMR that's in different languages. I love when Gentle Whispering does Russian videos. I always watch those. I don't speak a word of Russian, but somehow people doing ASMR in languages that I don't understand gives me a lot of tingles. So I am gonna read just a part of my Dutch book. Don't know what this is going to be. Okay. Wat waren je verwachtingen van dit gesprek? Vroeg de psychiater aan me. Ik had niet echt verwachtingen. is de 0ste stap. De eerste is dat je het via een buikspreekpop doet en de derde is dat je het zelf zegt. Leg dus uit. Ik keek even geschrokken aan. Maar nu zijn we op de eerste stap en we doen het rustig aan, zei de psychiater geruststellend. Ik knikte. Aan het einde van het gesprek las ik een middeltje tegen spanning en een verdubbeling van mijn dosis antidepressieve rijker. Ik fietste meteen door naar school. Toen ik aankwam werd het net pauze. Ik stak een sigaret op en bleef even buiten het hek staan. Een klasgenote kwam ook roken. Heb je het niet koud? Vroeg ze verbaasd. Ik had mijn jas uitgedaan. Ik hield ervan om het koud te hebben. Op de een of andere manier verdoofde het me. Nee hoor, zei ik lachend. Ze bubberde even. Een oud-klasgenoot, Roy, kwam nu ook naar buiten. Rook jij ook? Vroeg hij verbaasd toen hij me zag. Hoe lang al? Ik keek hem verschrikt aan. Waarom wilde hij dat weten? Wat voor antwoord verwachtte hij? Een paar weken, zei ik maar. Was dat goed? Hij draaide zich om en ging met het andere meisje praten. Ik rookte mijn sigaret op en ging toen naar binnen. De dag leek eeuwig te duren, maar ik bleef toch nog dat extra uurtje. The publisher that I worked with, Book Scout, you can see there, Book Scout. Book is written in the Dutch way, Book Scout. They let me choose the background, so the picture for my cover, and they took everything else, so they chose the font and everything and where those letters came, and they chose what the back would look like, but I chose this picture and I am very happy with my choice. I think it shows exactly what it's about, and I think it's a very good picture to have like as a background for the title and the text. Like it does have those lights of the train, but it's primarily black. So I am happy with that. A traditional publisher will usually not let you choose your cover. And if you self-publish, I would have had to do this and this and this by myself as well. Now the only thing I had to do was pick this picture. So in the cover there is a big difference already between publishing options. But this video is already 24 minutes long, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. 7 very simple points to make, and I took 24 minutes. So I am going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching. If you liked, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I try to post every day, usually at night. Well, at night for me here in the Netherlands. And yeah, let me know what you thought. If you have any experience with writing or publishing, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you learned. If you ever wrote or published a book or a short story or anything like that, or if you just have general tips with writing. I like to read that. I am very interested in writing and the publishing and marketing world. So let me know your thoughts on those topics. Thank you so much for watching. I always do that. I know when I'm watching ASMR and there was a sudden loud noise, it's like a jump scare to me. I always end my videos with jump scares. I try not to. I am also not wearing makeup right now because I just got home from work. So let me know if that matters to you, or if a lot of people really prefer the makeup. if it adds something for you to watch me